Beings who really see. The transformation of the human story continues, increases in empathy, high level of feeling loved, finding a home in the A field, and now becoming beings who really see. High-power telescopes, such as the Hubble and atomic microscope, reveal ever-expanding dimensions in the infinite great and infinite small. We can now scan the images of the brain and view any inside part of our body. We have virtually surveyed all parts of the earth. We now see the world differently than 200 years ago, but we have only investigated about 95% of the reality of the universe, and that's accepted. We still do not know what consciousness is. We do not have eyes to see consciousness, nor tools to explore it adequately. We may not even be on the right path to explain consciousness. Teilhard de Chardin said, "One could say that the whole of life lies in seeing. This comes from an increase in consciousness." He said, "We must see to really see, or we will perish." He was concerned that we must see the intimate connections among all things, the passion to grow our inner life as humans, the grandeur scope of evolution in order to build the earth, create networks over the globe, and attain overall acute consciousness. Thomas Berry tells us that during the past 200 years, and I find this a very harsh criticism, the human mind lived in the narrowest bonds it has ever experienced. The vast, mythic, visionary, symbolic world, with all its all-pervasive, numinous qualities, was lost. Bob Keck, Jim's father, and I put his book out there on the table, emphasized developing the kind of eyes that can see a wide spectrum, to see the pattern that connects us in coming transformation. He calls such vision as seen with sacred eyes. It happened to me on August 28, 2010. I asked this Jesus figure to come and guide me into seeing more deeply, more profoundly. Now, Jesus was actually 5'2" tall, we think. But this figure that came was at least 6'6", helping me to see more profoundly, more deeply, representing the humans. I stood in the middle and waited. When Jesus came, so different than the Jesus in the Bible, he was strong like a wrestler. I said to him, "I want to learn to really see. Please take me on a journey and show me how, so that I can show others." He didn't speak, but he placed his fingers on my eyes and then placed the palms of his hands over my eyes. And with his fingers, he gripped my head tightly. His hands held my head in a tight grip for a long, long time. I was startled, even shocked. The imagery was turning into a vision. I lost control. I felt my head swirling and felt the effect over my heart, my entire body. Finally, he released me. I knew I had been sharply rebuked as a human. He did not like the way science refused to see so much of reality. He did not like the way my presentation was shaping up, so he intervened. He wanted to be more truthful, be more open to the spiritual. I went back and revised this talk. As we walked in the country, I saw the trees and other plants looked so full of energy that moving molecular structure became visible to me. I saw people on the streets. Whenever I focused on a person, I saw a light surrounding that person, felt a spiritual presence moving our minds together. Apparently, the ordinary people could awaken, no longer willing to be treated as victims. I even knew that there were spiritual entities making themselves known. I wondered, was this vision chiding us to know that the spiritual has to be rigorously explored and not ignored, but blended with various discoveries of science? How could we develop eyes that truly see? Science and researchers must lead the way, but exploration must include the spiritual realm. We are thankful that science has stripped away the superstition and myths of the Middle Ages and the falseness of religiosity. But now we need to blend science with a different kind of spirituality, that will probably become evident through new discoveries by science. Let's look at one of the promising areas, that of virtual reality. Many of the ambitions of adherents of virtual reality during the 1800s have not been accomplished. But now we have the knowledge, resources, and within 50 years we will have the vast computer power to realize its potential, and also, I think, the algorithms of mathematics. Recently, numerous virtual reality laboratories have been springing up all over the world. I read about this reporter who visited one of these laboratories. I think it was in California. They converted his body into a virtual reality picture in 15 minutes. Of course, that was external and only showed his appearance, not his thoughts. Frank Tipler states that we can map an entire personality together with a simulated environment into a program and run it. David Engelman, a neuroscientist at Baylor College of Medicine, claims that we will be able to digitally copy the brain structure and download the conscious mind into a computer. Rutgers professor J. Storrs Hall discussed how foglets, which are nanobots that can manipulate image and sound waves in the brain, can bring the morphing qualities of virtual reality to the real world. Scientist entrepreneur Ray Kurzweil, in his book The Singularity is Near, When Humans Transcend Biology, believes the following will occur before the end of this century. Let's assume they'll happen. Full immersion virtual reality will soon occur. That's what he's saying. We can upload patterns of our own mind, knowledge, skills, personality, memories to a virtual reality figure that will be like us. We will be able to change our own bodies, become like someone else. We can plug into another person's sensory, emotional being and experience what it's like to be that person, like the movie John Malkovich. We can participate in any type of experience with anyone. There will be wireless communication from one brain to another. There will not be a boundary between us, not be a boundary. We can merge with another. Once our body has been transferred into a virtual body, we can replicate it many times. Such virtual reality will be available for the common person. Now speculate with me. Just speculate with me. You can create your own virtual body and then talk with it, ask it questions, go for a walk with it, watch it fly like an eagle. Enter into various simulations of life after death by people. Make another form of you as a young child and answer its many questions. Ask someone who seems full of love and vitality to take over your virtual body. Feel that person's presence and then merge with that person. Have your virtual body become whatever you want it to become. Create and merge with the high-level spiritual beings. Hold on, I say, and that's up there. Full immersion virtual reality of a human may take longer than science now predict, but it will probably eventually happen. It has never happened before. It's difficult to imagine. It is so beyond our experience. Some early forms of it will occur this century. Then when we merge with each other, we will see ourselves and the world as never seen before. This is the closest relationship that ever existed between humans. I and you and me. And those of you that know John 17 can see the comparison there. We may find that benevolent spirits in the highly complex spirit world may come and join us, bringing with them a spirituality that has not been known on earth, knowing that the world is ready to see. Beings from another planet might say, these beings on earth have blended their science and spirituality to see, the ability to really see in many dimensions, even in the unseen world. In part 5. Can't believe you folks are still here.